Hello everybody, welcome back. I have been thinking for literally weeks about how I wanted to do this video, where I'm at with food, dieting, weight loss, that sort of thing. I am 4 weeks postpartum with baby number 3, and if you are newer to my channel, I started my channel as a way to document my weight loss journey when I joined Weight Watchers for like the 10th time. This was many years ago. I had one kid. He was like probably about a year and a half old when I joined, and I was following a wheat-free, high-fat, low-carb diet, and the combination of the wheat-free, which I initially did to help heal my Hashimoto's, which is an autoimmune disease, combined with the Weight Watchers Points Plus program, I had great results. And then I had a second baby, and then we had a lot of life stress happen, and I gained all of my weight plus quite a bit more. And then I joined Weight Watchers again last year, and January of 2018, and I lost about 15, 17 pounds, and then I got pregnant with baby number 3, who is right here. So my weight and my journey has been all over the place, mostly because of babies and pregnancy, mostly also because of my binge eating and my food addiction. And that has always been the biggest barrier to me being successful with weight loss. I like a variety of foods. I like a lot of healthy foods. I like a lot of junk food as well. I like fast food. I like fancy, rich food. I mean, there's just so many different kinds of foods that I enjoy. And so I have tried lots and lots of different eating styles. However, I never really enjoy sticking with any type of eating style that is really, really restrictive, because it messes with my mind in a serious way. And I don't know why it took me so long to just come to terms with that. There was so much shame every time I would do like a diet, like say I was doing like paleo. It's like I had all this shame that I really wanted to eat cheese, for example. Or if I was doing the keto diet, I had so much shame that I ever wanted to like bake again. Like, if you do these diets, you're supposed to like immerse yourself and your brain and your emotions and everything into eating this certain way. Hang on, baby. Come here. Right? You're supposed to like follow all the rules, and the sun is moving. You're going to see lots of shadows. You're supposed to immerse yourself in the way of eating and not miss your old habits. Is that right? Well, that's how I feel. And I feel like when you talk to a lot of people who eat a certain way, they have so much pride. I'm not saying that they're not justified in that, but there's so much pride in getting through however many. Yes, I'm going to breastfeed while I make this video. And no, I'm not going to edit anything out, because if I don't have time to like make myself a salad for lunch, I don't have time to edit videos, all right? There's Daddy here. Oh, I thought you were hungry. There we go. Yeah, so I guess what I'm trying to say is that every time I would do a new diet, I would initially be 100%, and I would be on board, and I'd read about it, and I would tell people about it. I'm sure people in my normal life who don't do diets are like so flippin' tired of hearing me talk about food and weight loss and carbs and sugar and bad foods and this. And you know what? I had the best conversation with the dietitian when I had gestational diabetes this last time, and she's like, she really validated what conclusion I have come to at age, how old am I, 36? 36 years of age, that there are probably lots of different ways that you could eat to be healthy, to lose weight. You could find medical research to support a vegan diet. You could find medical research to support a ketogenic diet. You could find research to support calorie counting as a diet. So what are we supposed to do? I mean, I don't have a degree in food science, nutrition. I have read so many books by all of the experts, and you know, a lot of them say different things. It just depends on what they're promoting. And so it can be really confusing, really overwhelming. So as I would jump from diet to diet or way of eating, when I think of diet, I think of like the old school, like grapefruit diet, cabbage soup diet. I'm probably kind of using some words interchangeably, but like way of eating, you know? So like when I was focusing on no wheat, that was like, my diet was like, I'm not eating wheat. That lasted about 8 months. And then I just decided that I didn't want to eat like that anymore. And it took me like almost a year to get over that shame, to be able to admit the foods that I missed, to be able to admit things that I wanted to be able to do, like bake with my kids. And like, why would I feel ashamed of that? Well, it's because of diet culture, and it's because of other people's opinions, and it's because of caring what other people think, and it's because of seeing all the messages about how carbs are bad and wheat is bad. And yes, I have Hashimoto's and I have an autoimmune disease. And, you know, is there lots of information out there that says that wheat causes inflammation and causes the inflammatory response, blah, 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 blah? Oh, absolutely. Would I probably feel better and maybe have better numbers if I didn't eat wheat? Yeah. But what is my day-to-day like? What stress does that cause me? You know, and I've had to really just stop and evaluate, you know, what are these diets causing me emotionally, and the stress that they're causing me. I hate the feeling of going somewhere and feeling like I'm missing out. You know, showing up at a birthday party, for example, and watching everybody else eat cake with ice cream. Or going out and watching my husband eat like pizza. You know, like those are just some of my favorite foods. They're not everyday foods for me. Those are sometimes foods. In the great words of Daniel Tiger, or some cartoon, I don't know, sometimes foods and everyday foods. But I have just been in the diet culture and bombarded with so many messages, because I have been overweight pretty much since the 2nd grade, with a brief moment of not being overweight during college. And we're going to get to that. Sorry, this video might be kind of long. I think I'm probably rambling. I'm sleep deprived. So bear with me. I mentioned in my last video, it's probably just going to be chaos in my videos for the next little while. But, you know, I've done a lot of diets. I have been successful at different times losing weight, and I have failed miserably at losing weight. I have regained weight all the time, and I really started to think about having weight loss surgery. I've had a lot of friends have weight loss surgery. They've been successful at it. I've talked to a lot of people. I've attended seminars because my weight, it's hard for me to lose weight. I've always felt like I lose weight a lot slower than other people, and I used to compare myself to other people, and why is it so hard for me? And you know what? The answer doesn't matter. It doesn't matter why it's harder for me to lose weight. It doesn't matter why it's easier for somebody else to, you know, just start exercising and eating less and they start to lose weight consistently. None of that matters. I just have to worry about myself. You know, what really works for me. And it's taken me a long time to realize that some of the diets that I was doing or some of the ways of eating that I was trying to be perfect at and to identify with and become part of my identity. I don't eat that. It's like I said it with pride, like, oh, I don't eat that. And it was like beating myself into submission, beating myself into more restriction. You know, it's so popular, oh, I don't eat. I'm just using examples. And there's no judgment if you don't eat these things, but if you say, I don't eat dairy, I don't eat gluten, I don't eat this, that's great for you. But I think you know that sometimes that's a way that people start to divide themselves and to put themselves on pedestals above other people who, you know, the scums of the earth like me who, I don't know, bake with white flour. Okay. So, what is my point? I'm going to ramble on and on if I don't get to the point. The point is that during this last pregnancy, I couldn't eat the way that I used to eat. I couldn't overeat. I couldn't binge eat. There's a lot of foods that just made me sick. And it was the biggest blessing in my life because I finally had to stop and listen to my body. I had to listen to when I was actually hungry. I had to listen to when I was actually full. So I feel like I got to practice that for 9 months. Had my baby, I'm nursing, I feel like a bottomless pit just because every time I nurse, it makes me feel really, really thirsty, and I feel like my metabolism is going like a million miles an hour. So I'm eating more than when I was pregnant. And mentally, I'm freaking out a little bit. And every day, I have to have a pep talk with myself. Stephanie, remember, it's going to take practice. You're not going to do this overnight. You have spent the majority of your life. I mean, I started my first diet in the 4th grade. I have not eaten intuitively for like 25 years. So it's going to take some practice. My whole thing, I started to talk about weight loss surgery, then I went off on a tangent. The whole thing that stopped me from that is that the problem was always my mind. You know, the binging, overeating, obsessing about food, and the level of restriction that I would put myself through would cause these obsessions with food and cause these times of binging. So like every time I saw anything that was like off limits, I felt like I couldn't stop eating it because it was going to be the last time. Even if I told myself, this isn't the last time, just enjoy in moderation. That level of restriction like freaking messed with my head and messed with my relationship with every single food. Healthy food, unhealthy food, junk food. I mean, when I was doing the more like keto style of eating, I could binge on keto foods. I mean, I never got to that utopian place where it's like, oh, I forgot to eat, or I just feel so satisfied. I mean, yes, did I feel satiated longer than if I ate like a Pop-Tart? Oh, absolutely. But it never shut my brain off completely. So I've been following on Instagram some accounts all about intuitive eating, and I love the messages there. I just want to do something that I can do for the rest of my life. No matter what I eat, no matter what diet I do, and even if I do eventually decide to have weight loss surgery, nothing will lead me to a healthy weight and then keep me at a healthy weight if I don't have an intuition about eating appropriately for my body. Stopping when I'm full. Eating when I'm hungry. It sounds so simple, but because of the diet culture that we all live in, it's really hard to put into practice, especially if you're not practiced at it. In fact, as I've learned more about eating intuitively, I just realized that it's just going to take practice, and there's no shame in that. I might spend the next year at the exact same weight, and you know what? That's going to be better for me in the long run than if I lose 5 pounds, then gain 7, then lose 7, then gain 4, and yo-yo for the next year trying to lose weight during a really stressful time just by following somebody else's, program or whatever. I mean, I'm not an idiot. I know that it's going to take a level of restriction to lose weight, but obviously I've been eating in excess, which is why I'm overweight. So if I eat not in excess, the idea and what my doctor told me is that eventually my body will settle into a healthy weight. That healthy weight may not be Weight Watchers' idea of a healthy weight. My idea of a healthy weight really is a weight where I can hike and mountain bike and run. I want to be able to do those things. I want to be able to jog again. I want to be able to mountain bike, and I want to be able to hike. And I want to be able to do those things without feeling like I'm going to die. Because I can do most of those things right now, but I can't do them the way that I want to do them. So I just want to end with a quote because this video is getting long. But one of the accounts that I follow on Instagram, I can't remember what it is, but I'll be talking about it a lot. So it said, we pathologize emotional eating when it's overeating, but we never do the same when people undereat during times of stress. So I don't remember the exact quote, but basically it was like, when somebody overeats and emotionally eats, there is a stigma, there is shame. But when people start skipping meals when they're stressed out or super emotional, there's not shame. It's like, wow, I wish I could forget to eat when I'm stressed. I'm just going to leave you with that. So anyway, what am I doing? I'm being a mom. I'm recovering. I am practicing listening to my body. I am fighting with some of those demons that tell me I need to start losing weight and I need to start eating this or that, just because that's the habit of where my brain has been for so long. But let me tell you what, every time I see a new mom, especially, on Weight Watchers or YouTube or Instagram, moms of all sizes, all different experiences. And it's like a month happens and they're taking, pictures of their postpartum bodies. And this is me 1 week postpartum, 3 weeks postpartum. This is what happened to my body. And it's like, yeah, that's what, you just had a baby. We're all different. And I just always think when people start worrying so much about their weight, I'm like, oh my gosh, give it like 6 months, 8 months. You're so tired. Your hormones are all over the place. And that's what we tell our girlfriends, right? And our friends. But now here I am, I was fully confident, like, oh, I'm just going to give it like 6 months before I start worrying about it. Oh no, I assure you that I came home from the hospital and was like, oh my gosh, what do I weigh? I need to lose all this weight. And it just hit me. And every day I just had to keep telling myself, Stephanie, you got to give it some time. You got to enjoy these moments. Don't worry away this precious time that you have with your tiny, tiny baby. You're going to have time when that baby is older to focus more on the meal prep, eating when you're not holding a baby, grocery shopping. Lots of different things will come and will become a lot easier as my baby gets older. And then I will miss this little stage. So that's not an excuse to like go and eat like an entire large pizza. I'm not saying that either. I think sometimes when we hear people talk about eating intuitively, people assume that that becomes like the free pass to just like overeat and eat indulgently. That is a misconception, at least for me. I am still actively trying to make healthy eating decisions based on what I feel is healthy, not somebody else's book. Because remember, there's medical research to support pretty much every way of eating. There's lots of research to support, like, I mean, I compare vegan and keto just because they do tend to be on the opposite ends of the spectrum, eating, vegetables and meat. And there's science that would support eating like lots and lots of fruits and vegetables on a vegan diet, and root vegetables and potatoes and sweet potatoes and dates. So just because I'm like eating intuitively and I'm not putting rules on myself, it doesn't mean that I'm out just like binging and eating Oreo cookies. No, I still want to put good things in my body. I just want to learn how to not overeat. And I have had many, many successes where I have to check in with myself, after nursing at night or something and say, am I really hungry? No, I'm probably just thirsty. I have to practice that. This is what I'm going to be practicing for the next rest of my life. Now, if I decide at some point that I'm really, really struggling and I need some more boundaries, I can assure you that the program that I will always fall back to is Weight Watchers. I won't go to the meetings here because the meetings here where I live in my town, I'm sorry, but they were a waste of my time. They were a joke. I've gone to Weight Watchers meetings in many different cities, many different states. They've got some room for improvement here in Caldwell, Idaho. That's all I'm going to say. It was not really a positive experience to attend those meetings. And I went for 7 months, like pretty religiously. So anyway, I know that this video is long, but this is all important stuff that I just wanted to get off my chest. I'll update you as I lose weight. I mean, I still have, ideally, I still have probably 100 pounds that I could lose. Do I need to lose that much to be healthy? No. But, I still have weight that I want to lose. And I think that that's okay. I'm just not going to be crazy about it. I just can't. I know that if I try to do something that I can't do for the rest of my life that makes me obsess about the foods that I miss and makes me miss food and all of that, I just know that it's not going to be sustainable. It's not. It's just not sustainable. So that is my message for today. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being part of my little club here on YouTube. So I'm going to keep posting food, weight loss, all those videos. Still going to be talking about our debt snowball. Still going to be talking about, motherhood and all sorts of other things. So I know it's just kind of a variety show right now, and it will probably continue to be that way. So if you like variety, go ahead and subscribe. And yeah, with that, I guess I'll see you in my next video. See you later.